What's one of the most difficult things about parenting you've experienced?
Uh, you can't say names, huh?
You could make up a name, like use the first letter, different name, like I did in my book.
Parenting somebody like Marion.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult thing about that? Because you're a pretty patient person.
You never you never knew what to expect.
Mm.
You know, you just like you always had to stay on guard. It's like you always had to be prepared for whatever it is that might come your way. And you never know when it's gonna come. It's like sleeping with one eye open.
But you knew it was coming. You just didn't know what it was.
Just right. You just didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mute your TV for me. I can hear it in the background. The remote on your chest. So just knowing that there was going to be some type of incident that day, would you say it was an incident every week, every 3 days, or every day?
It was something every day.
I think people think I'm exaggerating when I say that I had an incident every day
It
with
was
Mikey.
it was something every day.
What was the scariest thing about that
Now,
time?
some things was worse than the other. The scariest thing, uh, Mikey trying to kill everybody in the house.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think there's I don't think it's anything worse than that. You know, I can accept a lie before I can accept somebody just trying to wipe me and other people that I love off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's that's extreme. That's to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Deleting somebody. I don't think you can say the other word on
Right.
YouTube.
Well,
Yeah.
so when that happened the first time, because it happened several times, between the fires, between the poisoning, between the knives that he hid in his room, and the knife I had to wrestle out his hand, which knocked out Jackson's tooth when he was 4 or 5. Out of all of those incidents, um, when were you like, or were you ever like, yeah, I can't do this anymore?
I think after the first time he poisoned you, it was like, no, can't do this because you have to watch. You just have to watch your back at all times, and it's impossible. You know, you got to go to sleep. You can't wash the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can prevent some things, but the thing, but those things that you can prevent doesn't outweigh the things that you can't prevent. So he had more of a chance of taking you out.
Yeah.
You know,
But
because of, huh?
go ahead.
Uh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, how did it feel to have to still take care of him? Because even though we knew what he was doing, right? Even though we knew he was poisoning us and me, I was the main one getting sick. Jackson got sick too when his stomach had blown up so big and he wouldn't eat any food. How did it feel to still have to take care of him? And this is not your son, mind you. This is your stepson. How did
I
it
think
feel?
I think I looked at it more like how you know how older people do with their feed a stranger.
Hmm.
You know, older people do they take you in, they'll feed you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless, feeding somebody is you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
And I just looked at it. I looked at it as that. I was like, well, shoot, he here, we gotta feed him, but he don't deserve to eat what we eat.
Hmm.
I mean, he can't he can eat.
But he did eat what we ate. And you were very patient with him. You did a lot of stuff with him, even though I know it couldn't have been easy. I know it wasn't a situation where you were able to just, check out. I know you checked out emotionally for your own mental health because if we thought about all the horrible things that he did to us all the time, we wouldn't have been able to fully engage with him the way that we did. So I think I dissociated. I think I dissociated a lot from the negative because there's no way I could live in those two worlds, right?
Hmm.
Um, I had to figure out a way how to navigate being a parent of a child who tries to kill me but still needs me, and being a human being who just wants to live and preserve their life. So it was a very weird place to be in as the mother, right? And trying to protect you and Jackson and me, and then trying to overcome all the other barriers because he was lying on us, you
Hmm.
know, um, telling the teacher things. And I thank God that he's been in therapy. He had been in therapy for so long that all that stuff was very easy to verify.
Yeah, he started early.
He started early. He was what,
He
5?
started early with the rabbit incident.
Cats. Was it cats or
Yeah,
rabbits?
and was crazy. The beginning of his school days and the end of his school days of being in school ended the same way with the same story.
Mm,
Me and him killing cats, shooting cats. And when I picked him up from school, he said the same similar story
mm,
that I had guns and we shot animals.
yeah.
It's crazy how it was a full story, almost what 9 years,
Hmm.
same story.
Yeah. And we hung him on the patio.
Hmm.
We skinned him and hung him on the patio outside of our home. Um,
But this time he was going to shoot the school up.
right.
Yeah,
Did they do something? Is that when he got I can't remember. Is that when he got kicked out of
that's
school?
that's when he got kicked out of school.
Okay.
That's when he got kicked out of school. Yeah.
How were you able to continue to take care of us all without losing it? I know that you said that you just looked at him like, you know what? I'm just looking at him as a stranger in our home that has to eat. He
Yeah.
needs clothing. He needs, all the things that little
I mean,
minor strangers.
I mean, I still loved y'all, and I still had to protect y'all. Just because of what he was doing, I think I'm good with separating stuff. I'm not gonna I wasn't gonna transfer his energy over to y'all. Him making me frustrated because us three we going through the same thing. We at war with him. I mean, if you look at it like that,
Yeah.
and 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 that's how the devil works. You know, he tries to find the weakest one. I make him frustrated. and they're gonna go and that person is gonna go into the colony and gonna disrupt everything.
Yeah, that's what he did.
You know, I
Yeah.
think he tried to, but we human. I mean, sometimes folks break down and then you have to get back up, but it didn't work. I mean, it is,
Yeah.
you know.
Tell me about a time you were frustrated with me when it came to Mikey.
Uh, I think it either had to be the candy incident or the ring incident.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember which one came first.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, dude, is she believing that she believing him? Because I couldn't really, and I think this probably was the first time that I think it had to be the first time. I think it was with your ring.
Yeah, because he was little when he stole my wedding ring.
No, it was the candy.
No, the ring came first,
Well, it was the candy because he said that I did something to him.
but the ring came before the candy.
Right. The ring came before the candy, and he said that I got it, but I was at work. So that was like, dude, nah, you tripping. I was at work, so ain't no way I could have did it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But the Halloween candy incident, how he tried to do that, how he tried to say, because he got caught with the candy, he
Yeah.
he tried to say that I disciplined him already, so
Yeah.
he wouldn't get in trouble, and said that I punched him in his head.
Did he say punched?
Yeah,
He said you punched him in the head.
yeah, he said I punched him in the head, and I was like, and man, you already done talked about it because you asked me about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I told you what happened, and and I think what 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 really made me what really pissed me off is when I was on the phone with you and I was talking to him about the incident, and that nigga was looking at me, he was laughing,
Mm.
saying, "No, I ain't say that," and he was laughing, but I was on the phone with you,
Mm.
dude. I was like, dude, this
And he was
nigga
in
is
your face smirking like,
yeah.
my mama believe me, she don't believe you.
Saying nah, he was like, nah, I ain't say that. I ain't say that.
Mm.
But he right there laughing,
Yeah.
smiling. I was like, okay.
I apologize for that a million times. I just was verifying what happened, right? Because here's the thing. This is why I asked you about it. If Jackson tell me something, if Michael tell me something, if Raven tell me something, it don't matter which one of our kids come to us and be like, this happened to me. Remember my daddy got mad at me because I said the same thing to him? I'm gonna ask you about it. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna, just ask about the situation. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm all in. I'm like, oh, you did this, right? But he was so convincing. Wasn't he like crying?
He was convincing.
He was so convincing. Like, and he was little. Yeah, he was what, 8 or 9?
And then at the end and then when we was all in the room, he broke down. He was like, "Yeah, I said it," and it was like, hey, "Yeah, I said it,"
Yeah.
and he thought it was funny then.
He
Like,
really got a kick out of manipulating me. It was like a game to him to lie on teachers. So I go up to the school and act a fool before I knew what was going on with him. I'm getting into it with teachers. I'm making appointments with principals. I'm writing letters to the school board. Like I'm going above and beyond
yep, bus
Bus
incidents.
drivers, yeah.
And
You
they
know, he
like, dude, look, watch the tape.
watch the
They just was like, you know what, we ain't gonna talk. Just watch the tape.
watch the tape. And I was like blown away. He said that boy bullied him for no reason. And he was picking on a kindergartner. Wasn't he picking on the boy little sister? He did something to her book bag or pulled her book bag or he did something to
He
her.
did something.
And the boy was just defending his sister like that was his little sister. So yeah, he
That's
gonna
what
get up
he's
on you.
that's what he's supposed to have did.
He had you
You
jacking
know?
up a kid on
Yeah,
the school bus. You done jacked up a couple folks too, you
yeah,
know, for hitting Michael. So
yeah.
yeah, it with him, it's a very scary thing because I used to tell him like I used to read to him all the time, and one of the stories was the boy who cried wolf because he would say all these things was happening to him, and it never happened to him. And when something really did happen to him, it will make you question, are you telling the truth? Did your dad say that to you or did this really happen to you? Because I remember you lied on me. You know what I mean? Like I remember you saying I did stuff. So can I believe that, your bio dad said this to you or jacked you up, the way that you say? I don't know. Are you just saying that because you just wanted us to have, want to triangulate us? So it was very, very, very difficult. What advice would you give me as a parent now with Jackson?
Mm, I think with Jackson, and I think we both do it. I think we'd be a little bit. I think we'd be a little bit too hard on him when it comes to certain stuff. With him
Mm,
just being a 10-year-old kid,
mm,
I think sometimes we go at him like he Michael.
yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I think he's starting to get nervous about certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that's where a lot of I guess, his lashing out,
Mm-hmm.
him being quick to anger,
Yeah.
you know, be coming from because we get at him, and it just be, and I guess it's what we had to go through for many years dealing with somebody else. That's why a lot of times he do stuff I don't even say done because I don't want to stay on him all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I see it be like that, and I be
Mm-hmm.
like, we had to stay on Michael about something all day, every minute,
Yeah.
every minute. It doesn't go past.
Yeah.
Why you bending his fingers, Michael? Why you break this toy? Why you eat his food? Why you drinking my drink? Why you out your room? What you doing?
Why you hiding this knife? Why you got a matchbox in here?
Why
How
you
you
got
get this
pencils stuck in the
lighter?
mattress?
Where
You know,
where my keys went? He was hiding stuff in his wall. But I want to get back to what you said about Jackson. A conversation that I often have with myself, with my therapist, and everyone else is that I never knew what it felt like to have a normal family, right? So now that I'm in this normal family, because my childhood family wasn't normal, and then growing up with a child that's trying to take you out from the age of 8 to 14, it's not normal. You're just in high alert all the time. It's like fight or flight all the time. I have to remind myself consciously, intentionally, Jackson is not Michael. If Jackson leaves something out, if Jackson, does something, it's not that he's doing it intentionally to antagonize you. Michael would do stuff intentionally to antagonize me, to get a reaction out of me. And I have to remind myself this is not what this is. It's like I have to reprogram my brain because it goes straight to, oh, he's trying to get you. He's trying to play you. Look, this is what he's trying to
Mhm.
do to you. And he just didn't clean off the table because he was trying to hurry up and get to finish playing his video game.
Mhm.
Right. So when I do get on him, I do have to check myself. And I do wonder that, like, am I doing too much? But it's a balance because I don't want to just keep letting everything go and then he has no boundaries, no standard, right? But then I don't want to be so tough on him to where he's afraid and anxious. Like you said, he's starting to get a little nervous and little anxiety is starting to come up because we're like, what you doing? Well, did you do what I told you to do? Well, why didn't you get this done? Like, I don't want to be on him like that. It's about finding that perfect balance
That
with Jackson.
it's it's the I think it's more of the delivery because if he do something, he has to be disciplined.
Mm,
But it's the way that it could be done. You know what I'm saying? With Michael, he had to be disciplined, but not dealing with that's a whole different beast. So you have to come with frustration, anger, and all that to at least to show him something. Because if you don't, he gonna look at you like, man, he gonna do that anyway. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Think with Jackson, I don't think we don't need to come with him like that. But if he do something and he not cleaning up his mess, yes, every time he do it, come clean this kitchen, come do this.
Yeah.
Just have to find a different delivery,
I
a
find
different
myself
way.
getting frustrated. So I'm definitely going to work on that. If I'm coming too abrasive or if I'm finding myself getting frustrated when I'm called Jackson, like instead of calling him like that or instead of, just why didn't you get this? I told instead of allowing
Clean it up.
myself to feel that, I need to calm down.
I know that's why I just be like, dude, just tell me to clean it up. Clean it up.
But then there was a time when you were telling me to allow him to see me irritated. Remember? Because I would never let any of them see me irritated.
That
And I
was
would be,
Michael.
okay.
That was Michael. Yeah, he Michael had to see you irritated, but you hid it from him for so long. When you start showing it, it was a joke to him.
I was going to say he didn't care either way. I don't think he would have cared even if I showed him there because he
You
got
know.
a kick out of manipulating any emotion out of me, right?
Yeah.
So when I did get upset, he loved it. It was like, ooh, he would smirk. He had this smirk, this
Yeah.
crap eating smirk on his face every time I showed any emotion. Don't let me cry.
Uh,
He won. That was 100 points. Ding, 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 ding. You can ring the bell.
but what I do know, he about to be 18. He gonna come out this facility. He ain't ready for the world.
No,
He is not. He is not. And I don't even think he knows how to prepare himself for it. He could be, but he's not even taking these folks serious. He could be, but he's not. And this and it's not gonna be kind.
no.
It's not. It's not gonna be kind.
But the thing about this is that Michael finds his village. Michael knows how to adapt and adjust for whatever circumstance he finds himself in. He's gonna find somebody that will believe him if he says, "Oh, nobody cares about me," even though he's still calling me and begging for stuff and everything else, right? Um, he's gonna find somebody that believes that he's just this sweet abandoned boy that needs help until that gets old and he moves on to the next person. I think he'll
Okay.
be just fine though.
Nah.
You don't think
I
so?
work I work with another Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
How how the how our Mikey was,
Mm-hmm.
well, is,
Mm-hmm.
and he think he can go talk to that Mikey. That Mikey will pick up on him real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Dude, they I think it's programmed in them who to stay away from, who to talk to, who's gonna
Mm-hmm.
treat them right. It's like it's in them.
Yeah, it's
And
a
I
predator.
and I work with a couple of them, and they remain to themselves. They silent. They ain't all in your face. So how that Mikey, our Mikey, approach one of those Mikeys, dude, it'll throw them. They'd be like, nope.
But you
And
don't
if
think our Mikey would recognize that and down? You don't think he would know, like, oh, I can't mess with this dude?
I think he no, because they have similar interests.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, similar. The Pokemon, the dinosaur, that type thing. But my coworker Mikey would be like,
I can't.
I can't with him. He doing too much, and it
Okay.
might be something as far as talking too much. He
Hmm.
talk too much.
Blowing up the spot.
Right. He like the way he look. It be stuff like that.
Yeah.
He smell funny. You know what I'm saying? It
Hmm.
be stuff like that.
Hmm.
He says R's wrong or something. Just they pick up on stuff like that.
So he's
You
getting
know,
out soon,
in our Mikey too busy trying to be cool
but
when
he.
those guys is they're okay with themselves.
Hmm.
Like my co-worker Mikey know his issues. He know.
But your Mikey is different than our Mikey because our Mikey has a diagnosis that stands
Right.
out where he feels no remorse. He feels he wants to harm others. He wants to triangulate. He lies, he steals, he manipulates, and he gets excited at the thought of someone else hurting. When he killed those baby birds, right? When he was what, 5,
Mhm.
4?
He was young.
And I had taught him about animals and being kind. Ooh, your camera is making me dizzy. I had taught him about animals and being kind to animals and loving animals, and and then he goes and and then we watched the birds be born every year on the patio. That was a thing, remember? Because they still did it when we were married. And when he killed those baby birds by stomping on them,
Kill my what's the names too? My cucumbers.
yup, your cucumber plant. We could have had cucumbers,
Mhm.
everything,
But see, those like my coworker Mikey, he have diagnoses too.
but
They'll
not the
pick up on
same.
that. But they'll pick up on that because they're not wild like that. So they'll be like,
Yeah.
like no.
I think your Mikey is more on the spectrum. It's more like autism. Our Mikey doesn't have autism. Our Mikey has some diagnosis that cause him to want to harm others.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Your Mikey would be like observant, watching out. He might be a little afraid of him because of the energy that he puts out. It's too much. He'll be giving too much. Our
Mhm.
Mikey gives too much. He gives all of this, but it's not real. It's not authentic, right? Because like you said, he's trying to fit in. He's trying to see what makes you tick. So that would be too much energy for them. Your mic would shut down and not deal with him. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up. But I appreciate you talking to me today. Um, any parting words? I was saying earlier, like you said, he's about to get out. As you know, one of the conversations that we had, the 3 conversations ago, when he said that he's gonna wear a trench coat and put his AR-15 in it, and he's gonna find me. Um, and he said what he was gonna do. Does that cause you any concern? Do you believe him that he would
I
do that
believe
to
him.
me?
I believe him. I believe he a person. I mean, he tried it before, so I would not believe him.
Right.
You know, but am I worried? Mm, no, because if he come here, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
Mhm. That's what you named it, the police.
Yup,
Okay. Call the police. That's it.
calling the police.
Calling the police. And that's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. Even if he show his face on our block, the police will be called.
Police will be called.
But honestly, I believe our family has a covering. Even Michael. Mikey. I keep saying his name. At this point, whatever. Okay. Um, I believe our family has a covering. I believe the Most High has protected us all this far. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. I think the things that had to happen so he could be placed in a facility without it actually taking us out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the Most High letting us live this long of a life, experience all the things we've experienced, go through all the stuff we've gone through, overcome so much, and then he get out and he take us out. I just don't, that just wouldn't make sense to me. You know what I
No.
mean? Like that wouldn't make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
I don't
Mm-mm.
see that happening. That doesn't mean I'm not going to watch my back. That doesn't mean that he won't attempt it, is what I'm
I,
saying. I believe he would attempt it, but I don't think it'll
oh
work.
yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah.
He showed his hand.
But he didn't have a GUN. This time he can have access to a GEN when he turns 18, right?
No,
He can't get a
you
GUN.
still you still have to. I mean, a criminal can get one of those.
He's not a criminal.
No, but still, you have to go through like that paperwork and stuff.
Yeah. He's a minor. He doesn't
I
have
think
a
you have
record.
to be. I think he have to be, but he got all that other stuff on his record too.
No. There's nothing that would show up on his record. I checked.
Oh, for real?
Attempted MURDER, attempted red rum is, remember the police even told you attempted red rum is not a thing for minors in Alabama. That's not against the law. So the fact that he tried to take us out, he tried to red rum us, did not have any bearing on anything legally. That's why he's in a facility like a group home, mental health home, and he's not in jail because there's no
I'm
law.
like this. He come knocking on my door. It's gonna be a problem. I wasn't worried about niggas on the street. I ain't gonna worry about him either. It is what it
Well, I will say that my hope to help him to become established and help him find a job and help him, like, I was really looking forward to that. And had he not threatened me this last time, blatantly lay out his plan on what he planned on doing to me and ultimately to us, right? If he had not done that, that would have definitely been a goal of mine. That doesn't mean I would have welcomed him back into our home to live and move in, but I definitely would have been taking him apartment hunting, and you know what I mean? Like I would have been doing those things that a mother does
is. Man.
with him. I mean, I just took him shopping before this. Before he threatened me this last time, he was still
He
getting
didn't.
all of that.
I know, but he didn't appreciate it either, and was still talking crazy.
Still lied. And still
He
talk
was
crazy.
still doing it. He's a minor. You grown now.
He'll be grown.
He grown. Where he at, them folks tried to give him all the tools that he needed.
We tried to give him all the tools that he needed.
But yeah, but I'm talking about where he at now. Why he he didn't accept it. He find his own way. Figure it out on his own.
You're gonna
Cause
have
as you trying, cause you trying to show him something, dude. All that's gonna do is gonna cause. That's gonna piss him off too. Cause he ain't gonna want to do it.
yeah.
So he gonna find his way how to weasel up into this house. Weasel himself up into this house.
I mean, that wouldn't happen though.
No, no,
That
that
wouldn't
wouldn't
happen
happen.
because he's not safe. That would be so crazy if I did it. Like with him being so much bigger than me now, and he's bigger than both of us now. That doesn't mean he's stronger, but he's
That's
bigger
why
than.
you can't go and drive him around, taking them looking for houses, apartments, but you can't trust him like that.
I can't. Not any. No, I can't. I probably never could. But I think he needed to say what he said to snap me out of that mindset of, okay, maybe this is not so bad. Maybe he's changed. Because somewhere in the back of my mind, it was a hope for me that he changed even a little bit. Maybe he didn't want us DAD altogether. Maybe he just,
You just wanna
maim us a little bit.
just a little bit.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit. Not like take us completely out, but he proved me wrong. And it's crazy because he never changed his interaction. He was the same all the time. It wasn't like it was a trigger. So that's why it was confusing. He would see me and be happy. Hey, mom. Run, big old hug, smiling. See you. Hey, Kwame. Jackson. Just
Mm-hmm.
excited. But trying to red room us
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously. It was very confusing for me. So, well, we needed to have this conversation because with him getting out, I think we just need to be more mindful. And one thing that came out of this as well is me being more intentional about being reactive to Jackson instead of just responding to Jackson and just being more aware and cognizant of how I interact with him because I never want to put that energy on him. I never want him to feel like he's bad. I never even called Mikey bad, but I don't want Jackson to internalize any of that by how um, I might react to some of the things that normal kids do. You know,
And he do normal kid stuff, but I, with me, I'm more like
you're back.
picking my battles
Yeah,
because he's getting older. He's finna be 13, finna be 18 soon,
let him be 11 first. But yeah,
and you're gonna need that energy then. Probably not, but you're gonna need that energy. Yeah.
I don't see him
Cause you
giving
can
me
look
too
at
many problems.
no. It's gonna be normal. I'm not gonna say he gonna be out there, living reckless.
Hmm.
But sometimes, even though those type of stuff, those type of things, gonna have to be addressed, so he don't go for it.
Yeah.
And you might have to come like that the first time, because when kids get grown, you can't baby talk them. You got to come to them like they grown,
Yeah.
and plus that prepares them for when they get grown. You know,
Yeah.
because I was never the type that baby talk with a baby when they babies.
Yes,
I
you
never did that.
did.
No, I didn't. I didn't baby talk Jackson when he was a baby.
Let me think.
Mm-mm.
You didn't baby talk him.
I didn't do that. That baby, that babbling.
No, you talked words. I talked words. But you
But when
did
they
the
get
high pitched
grown,
voice.
when he get 13, 18, yeah, girls gonna be involved. Yeah,
Yeah. On a different level.
it's gonna be a different level.
Well, I'll be ready
And
for it.
that's when he gonna be a teenager trying to do grown folks. Now he doing what he's supposed to do.
Hmm.
But when they get older, they try to do what grown people do.
How do you know that?
How I know?
Yeah.
Cause dude, I was grown for a long time.
Don't get choked. Because we're not that far apart. Don't play with me.
Yeah,
Dang
I
it.
was.